So what you're looking at, I believe I can say, is the world's first expert system for creating a financial report. So let me show you some things that make this an expert system. So first, you notice the different validations. You notice how these validations are green, or this one's yellow. All these rules have been validated by this application. So an example of model structure rules. This shows that the relationship between these different report elements, categories of report elements are correct. The type class relations helps you make sure that, for example, if you report the concept US GAAP operating expenses, you're not including cost of revenue within that concept. If you want to include cost of revenue, you would use the US GAAP term costs and expenses. That's what this type of check does. The fundamental accounting concepts, that does continuity cross checks across accounting relationships to make sure that the concepts are consistent. The disclosure mechanics, what that does is it tests each disclosure to make sure the mechanical relationships of the disclosure are correct. So if I went to, say, inventory, and I open this up, you can see all these checks that are being performed by the application to make sure that the mechanical and logical relations of each disclosure is correct. The reporting checklist, what this does is it makes sure, so for example, in every SEC filing, the document information is a required disclosure. Alternatively, you could report the document and entity information together. So basically what the reporting checklist rules does is it tells you if you have the disclosures that are required within the report. So if you go to the different components of a report, so here you see, say, the balance sheet, and you can see that the application has discovered that that is a balance sheet. There's nothing in the US GAAP taxonomy that tells you that that's a balance sheet or explicitly. So the rules discover that this is a balance sheet. And a balance sheet is a required disclosure. So if I go here and I pin this, this is the agenda that is used to create the report. So I'm going to delete the income statement. So I'm going to delete the income statement. So since the income statement is a required disclosure, the income statement shows up on this list now because now there's no income statement. If I delete the cash, now let's see, I'm going to delete the accounting policies because that's a required disclosure. So in addition to the accounting policies, because of the concept that they used, it was a combined significant accounting policies and the nature of organization disclosure. Both of those show up. So another aspect of this, if I go to tools and I turn on the intelligent agent that helps me let's see. So if I go to a cash flow statement and I go to this, where is it? Agent. I get cash flow statement examples that I can use and actually directly import if I want to, because the application understands that this component is a cash flow statement. So basically all of these things are connected, and this metadata in this knowledge base is used to work with the information in the fact table, and there's a rules engine, and you have an explanation mechanism that helps you see whether things are correct or incorrect. And all of these people are provided, all of these features are provided in a user's interface that let people interact with the knowledge-based system or expert system, and that's why I call this an expert system.